Hello, and welcome to Yoga with Susan Kelly. This is your Tuesday class, so the second class in our weekly theme. Now, this week we are working on back bends. Now, back bends are the perfect balance for all the forward flexion in our lives. So that's working on computers, driving cars, whatever you do, it almost always brings us forward. So the muscles tend to grow in that direction unless we're very specifically working in the opposite direction. So that's what we're going to work on today. We're going to set it up really carefully and end up with a little back bend. Okay, so let's stop talking about it. Let's me stop talking about it and let's get going. So let's, as we do, begin with a squat and have your feet as wide apart as your mat. Make sure the feet are parallel. And something I'm going to refer to quite a lot today is this pelvic wheel. Okay, I talked about it in yesterday's class, just in case you missed that. The front of the pelvis comes up, the navel goes back, the tailbone goes down, and this is a round and around action that we continue. Okay, through the center of that we lift Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor. I'll refer to that a bit as well. Okay, when you're ready, breathe in and breathe out. If you can, coming all the way down to a squat. But if the floor's too far away, you could have your blocks here. I want you to find the range of motion that works for you. And then wherever you are, see if you could find this pelvic wheel. So can you stabilize your pelvis a little? Because that's what the pelvic wheel does, where the navel pulls back and the tailbone drops down. And check where your weight is left and right foot and take a breath. When you're ready, let's come on to the toes. So the heels are directly over the toes. And as you lift your spine, so these are the things that we're connecting, as you lift your spine and open your heart, we need to do that. You're going to stabilize the pelvis again. So find that pelvic wheel, find the lift through the midline. It really will help with your balance. Breathing in and breathing out. And let's bring the knees down to the floor. And so everything we do in yoga is designed to support your life. It's a health practice, mind and body. And this work here in our toes really helps balance the time that you need to spend with your feet in shoes. Most people need to wear shoes at least some of the time. Okay, take a breath here. And then let's find Virasana, where you're sitting between your feet. You could sit on a block or two. Insist that the feet point directly backwards. So if you're working out what should you do, should you sit closer to the floor with your feet crooked or sit on a block with your feet pointing back? That is the way. We're always looking at alignment. Let's stack the fingers, bring the thumbs to touch, lift through the midline. Can you bring your pelvis into a neutral place? Relax the shoulders down your back. Close your eyes. We're just here for a moment. Check in. Mind and body. Let go of anything and everything that doesn't serve you. For this practice, it's your special time. So we're breathing in and breathing out. Take one more breath, breathe in and breathe out. Bow your head now, bring the chin all the way down to the chest. Open your eyes, look into your hands. Let the eyes focus. And let's stay with slow and inhale all the way up. Okay, so in the spirit of this quiet, slow time for yourself, let's continue there. So come onto all fours. Let's stack the wrists under the shoulders, and begin by rocking your shoulders from side to side. Let's just check in on the wrists. And then backwards and forwards. Making sure that the fingers are spread. Yeah, we're really pushing down. So that's our foundation. An important part of our foundation is the hands. Now, lift your front body. See if you can squeeze your buttocks towards each other. And then step back to plank. Inhale, lift your hips and push back. And then lower your heels and walk your hands back. One step at a time, pushing. You could bend your legs here if you need to. Bring your hands to your waist and come all the way up. Okay, so I really want to make sure that we've got this pelvic wheel sorted before we do some lunges. So there's a few different ways that I'll refer to it, and I will often refer to it as a neutral pelvic action, which means that the front and the back lines up. Okay, depending on where your upper body is and your arms are, determines how complicated that may be. We will need to stretch the quadriceps and the hip flexors and work the core to do all of those things. Okay, so let's be at the back of the mat. Bend your knees and walk yourself forward to plank. So that's inhale and exhale. Press back to dog pose. First dog pose today. Bend the legs. Lift the sitting bones. Take a breath there. Now let's keep the heels in the air and lift the hips up high. Keep pressing the hands down. And I'd like you to take your right leg up, look forward, and step the foot forward. How did that go? Sometimes that's a bit tricky, and sometimes the foot might just come some of the way, and then you can help it with your hand. Okay, so let's bring the left knee down. Now, have a look at the angle of my back. It's long and quite straight, not much of a back bend. And I want you to stay quite forward for this first lunge. Yeah, so forward with the trunk, press the hands down, find the pelvic wheel, but push the hips forward. See if you can find that stretch in the left hip flex. The inner thigh turns back, the outer thigh turns forward. Take a breath. And inhale and exhale. Let's head back to dog pose. We'll take one breath there. Now the legs can be bent, straight, or heels down as you choose. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, we're on the left side. We're going to take the left leg up. Yeah, sometimes the momentum helps bring the foot forward. You're going to look forward and step it forward. Knee comes down at the back. Stay forward, press forward. We're not trying to stretch the back yet. We're really wanting to find the psoas, the hip flexors, the pelvic wheel, and the core, pressing the hips forward. Breathing in and breathing out, checking in first lunge. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, let's head back to dog pose again. And take a breath. Now, I want to get a little more of a thigh stretch. You're going to lift your heels. You're going to take your right leg up. And this time, you're going to bend the heel into the bottom and turn the knee to the right. Yeah, look back through your right armpit. Take a breath. And then turn it back. Kick it forward. Knee to the floor. This time we're going to have the hands to the knee, pushing back. The shoulders roll back, the tailbone's down. A little more work in the pelvic wheel now. The inner thigh turns back. Be really specific about this alignment. Now, we're practicing this heart open action, but we need to find the core as well. Yeah, so that we're not compressing the lumbar spine. Breathing in and breathing out. Push the foot down. Now it changes again when we add the arms. So let's inhale the arms up, pull the navel back, and exhale, let's step back to dog pose. Take one breath. Lift the heels. It's the left side. Take the left leg up and bend the heel into the bottom and then turn, looking through the left armpit. You may or may not feel a stretch on the thigh. Breathing in and breathing out. And then turn forward, look forward, and kick that forward. Knee down at the back. Be specific. Hands to the knee and push back. Hips press forward. Relax the shoulders. This is meant to feel delicious, yeah? Tailbone down, front of the pelvis lifts. Navel comes back. Shoulders are relaxed. Puff the chest and pull those ribs back. Feel that really sweet action, that movement that's like a dance of yielding in the hip flex and pushing the hips forward. One breath at a time. Be very present. Okay, inhale, let's add the arms. And exhale, back to dog pose. And take a breath there. So this time, let's step the right foot forward again. We're going to keep the toes tucked under at the back. And I'd like you to, I probably should have said it before, have your blocks handy. We're going to lift the chest, pull the navel back, and then lift the back knee off the floor. Okay, so we need quite a lot of support here. Outer thigh hugs in, front of the pelvis lifts, tailbone down. Come onto your fingertips. Very important that we've got that work in the left leg. And then if you can, we bring the arms up. Keep pulling the ribs back. Keep dropping the tailbone. Keep working on the pelvis and really getting your core to be part of this. Breathing in and breathing out. Hands can come to the blocks or to the floor and step back to dog pose. One breath. And let's step the left leg forward. And we can bring those blocks back in. Lift the chest. Roll the shoulders back. Lift your stomach. Yeah, so find your abs, all those core muscles. And when you're ready, if you can, and bring those arms up. Curl the back, but add the support. Yes, good. Reach through the back leg. Hang in there. Feel the work. Take it out of your back. Use your legs. Pull your ribs back. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good. And bring the hands down to the blocks or to the floor. And come back to dog pose. Take a breath here. And let's bring the knees down to the floor and sit back on your heels. Okay, take a breath. I know I'm working you quite strongly. Okay, we're going to find a little more work in the thighs now. So when we're back bending in yoga, we're stabilizing the lower back and mobilizing the upper back. So we need length in the lower trunk, the pelvis, to stabilize it. Okay, let's come onto your stomach with your elbows under your knees. Now, to stabilize on the floor, we need to bring the tailbone and the pubic bone down towards the floor. Yeah. We want the legs to work and the buttocks to work. And you're going to reach behind you now and grab that right foot and squeeze it in towards the buttock. Now, if that foot's out of reach, you could use your belt, lasso it around your foot and squeeze it in. So how do we take this out of the back? Yeah, so don't push up too high. Yeah, if you needed to, you could bring your elbow further forward. You know, I think there's always a way. And as you push, bring the heel towards the buttock, keep pressing down. So that's an action that we do again and again and again, pushing the hips down, pushing the pubic bone down. Take a breath. It's as though the knee is reaching away from your trunk. And then let's change sides. So we change the arm. And again, make sure your back feels good. Reach around and grab the heel. The hips are pressing down. The pubic bone is pressing down. The tailbone is pressing down. The elbow is pressing down. You're breathing in and breathing out, and you're reaching the knee away from you. Good. Take another breath. And let's lengthen out the lower back after that. So bring your hands down, push up, take your knees apart, bring your big toes to touch, and press back here. And make sure that the lower back feels good. Take a breath. And then inhale the head up and walk the hands all the way back. Okay, I'd like you to come onto your back now with your belt, standing the feet, let's say hip width apart, and the belt is going to be over the front ankles. And we're going to roll the shoulders down. Okay, so we need to control the pelvis like we've been doing in those lunges. So push the feet down, lift the front of the pelvis towards your head, and let's lift up here. Tailbone lifts, shoulders roll down. Keep the back of the neck long. Push the shoulders down. Reach the knees away from the head. So we're still stretching the thighs. Now it's really important that the inner thighs turn down and the outer thighs lift up here. Use your feet, use your legs, get your buttocks to work. Breathe in and breathe out. So slowly coming down. So relax the grip on the belt. Tuck your buttocks under as you come all the way down. Push the back to the floor. Okay, we're going to do one more of those. Take a breath. And again, lift. Lift your pelvis. Let's say we're lifting the pelvis from underneath, from the sides. Yeah, we're using the core and we're pulling on the belt just to give us a bit of extra leverage to lift. Insist that the feet are pointing down, insides of the feet parallel, pressing your feet down. And the legs are squeezing towards each other. We're breathing in and breathing out. Let's take one more breath. And then coming all the way down. Tucking the buttocks under, pushing the back to the floor. Okay, so we're going to do quite a similar shape, but stomach down. Okay, so let's lie on your stomach. So the first thing is let's find this little back bend, another little back bend. There's lots of little back bends. Let's bring the hips down, bring the hands down so the hands are under the shoulders. Let's lift the shoulders, squeeze the elbows in. And from this solid foundation, so that's hips, legs engaged, we're going to take a tiny little back bend and encourage the back muscles to engage. We really want the buttocks to continue to engage. Yeah, so the glutes are also protecting the lumbar spine. The shoulders are lifted. And how do we check? We want to make sure that the back is doing more work than the arms. So find a place, yeah, chin down, and bring your hands off the floor. So this is a place where we know that the arms are not stealing the show. We're breathing in and breathing out. Good. And then come all the way down to the floor. Okay. So, grab your feet now. Okay, so fingers on one side, thumbs on the other. Now, if the feet are out of reach, it's a little bit tricky, but there we are. Whew, I got it first time. You're going to use a belt. So, whatever suits you, we're going to lift the shoulders first, have a strong grip, ankle or belt. Push your hips down and begin to lift your head. and lift your head. And lift your head. Okay, we've got the shoulders in the right place. And now we want to lift the legs. Now the feet are pushing, the front ankles are pushing into the fingers or the belt. And then we're lifting. Looking straight ahead. Inner thighs turn down. Shoulders are open. It's quite a big back bend. You might feel it in your thighs. Take another breath. No pain in your lower back. And then let's lower down, knees down. Release. And we rest between sides in back bends. Rest on one ear. Take a breath. Do nothing with your back. And let's do that again. It's always worth doing more than one back bend. Okay. Grab your ankles. Thumbs are on the different side to the fingers. We're finding our foundation, so push down, lift up, lift the shoulders, lift the chest. Look straight ahead, add the work of the legs, dorsiflex the feet. The legs are reaching away from you and up. Breathing in and breathing out. Take one more breath. Breathe in, whole body working, and breathe out. Great. Okay, lower the legs. Release and rest on the other ear. So turn your head to the side and let go completely. Take a breath. Good. Okay, we're going to come back to pose of the child now, using the whole body together. So press your hands down, lift your shoulders, lift your navel, lift your core, push your hands, press your hips back, get rid of that belt, take your knees apart, and push back. So it's really lengthen out of the back. Yeah, so we've bent it. You might feel all those muscles around your lower back. And now we're extending it. So when we use muscles that we don't normally use, it is reasonable to feel it, but it's also, you might find that you can extend your spine more than you normally do. Take another breath. And then inhale, lift the head, lift the chest, and walk the hands all the way back. Okay. Swing your legs forward now. There's all sorts of things that we could do as a counter pose for a back bend. Yeah, but the first thing is to definitely lift the spine and lengthen. Press the legs straight and lift the chest. Take one breath here. And now bend the legs. So let's take the right leg to the outside and make it a really deep cross. So forward bends are often what we would do at the end of doing back bends, but cross-legged forward bend is a little more gentle, so lean forward. So we don't want to do anything too dramatic. We just want to find those back muscles and move them in the other direction now. So you're walking forward with your fingers. When you can't come any further on your fingers, press your palms down. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, lift the head. Walk the hands all the way back. Use your core to change the cross of the legs. Lean back, change, and fold. Folding at the hips. Yeah, opening, using the pelvis, the pelvic rotation. Fold forward, reach out of your lower back. Should feel very sweet. Change what you're doing if it doesn't feel sweet. Your legs could be wide apart if it hurts your knees. Bring your palms down flat now. Take a breath. And then inhale, lift your head, walk your hands all the way back. Extend the legs forward. Okay, so a twist would be another thing that is great to do after back bends. You're going to take that right leg over the top, lift through the spine, hold your core on, keep the lift, shoulders are relaxed. We want to move with the core, but most importantly when we're twisting is that we're going up. The moment you feel that you can't lift anymore, that's where you should hang about. Keep the left leg engaged. Turn your spine like it's a spiral staircase. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Inhale. Look to the left and release. And let's change sides. So bend the left leg. Take it over the top of the right. Lift through the midline. Engage your core, so find that squeeze. And let's twist to the left. So again, we're going up. We keep turning. We're turning the waist. Looking over the left shoulder now. Keep moving as much of the spine as you can. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, turn your head to look to your straight right leg and release. Okay. Did you hear the bell? We are heading to Shavasana. I'm going to lie down with you and then I'll sit up and read you a story. So, lie down with your legs bent first. I've done back bends. I'd like you to bring your knees into your chest and just squeeze in and push your back down. Make sure you feel really great. Cross your ankles. Rock from side to side. Change the cross. Rock again from side to side. Try not to tip over. And then stand the feet near the bottom. Moving the legs simultaneously. Extend the legs along the floor. Do any wiggling around that you need to do. Close your eyes. Let the eyes be closed lightly. And let me read to you. It's from Donna Farey's book, Bringing Yoga to Life. Yoga tells us that the soul is always drawn towards those things that will most reveal its true nature. When we are able to recognize our spiritual impulse for what it truly is, and to harness that impulse with discriminating awareness, we will find our way home just as surely as a migrating bird finds its nest. As you will see, this process of finding your way home is a gradual process, happening in increments over the course of a lifetime. This does not mean we progress towards this place of belonging, for we cannot progress towards something we already are. It is through practice, however, that we come to realize the very nearness of our own liberation. So, let go of any stories that brought into your mind. And settle into your breath now. Find the place in your body where you feel the breath most clearly, most distinctly. It could be the rise and fall of the chest or the movement in the abdomen. When you find your breath, relinquish control. Allow the breath to find its own irregular rhythm. As you really release control, you can relax much more profoundly. No need to control. Let go, let go, let go, let go. Here I am breathing in. Here I am breathing out. If you find yourself thinking, acknowledge the thought, let it go. Come back to the breath. As many times as you need to, let go of the thought, come back to the breath. Breathe more deeply now. Draw the breath all the way to the top of the chest and exhale completely. Check in with how you feel. Slowly move your fingers and your toes. And on your next inhalation, raise your right arm over your head out of the way, bend up your left knee and roll quietly to the right side. Take a breath there. When you're ready, use your arms and your breath and your core. Come all the way up to a seated place. Join me. Close your eyes again. Heart open, spine long. And as you breathe in, bring your thumbs to your forehead and your lips and your heart center. Namaste. Thank you for doing yoga with me. I hope you feel fantastic, and I hope these back bends keep your heart open for the rest of the day. Okay, it's going to be a lovely week of heart opening back bends, so I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.